Personally, I have never done any acting or work on using my own voice since I was a student. So, and I really stopped performing when I met really good actors, because I thought, oh no, they do something that I can't. You know, they have an authenticity. They manage to get to this real place, and I can't. I always feel like I'm acting. I always feel like I'm watching myself, and that's really why I guess I became a director and a writer rather than a performer. But simply by recording for hundreds of hours, I had largely lost my own self-consciousness. So that if I talk to someone now, I don't feel like another bit of me is watching me, wondering how well it's going or whether I'm saying the right thing or not. I feel like I can just largely be myself. And so that's been a great thing, because I think that part of the future of the frequency might involve me and other people going on television, doing things, doing interviews and videos and things like that with all sorts of people, perhaps some very famous people. So I wanted to feel that I personally could do that without being too worried about who I look and like and what I should do.
Yes.
That's been a great thing for me to learn on this.
This is the frequency.
I think that, having said that, I didn't want to put any instructions or any spiritual teaching into the site. At the same time, as you talk, certain things come up. And once we'd finished the recording and we started to do the editing, and I started to write the music, and I started to create the framework in which all these different stories and experiences happen, I began to be able to take from what people had said some things which I did think were universally true. They were meaningful to everybody. And in that sense, then I found myself having to sit down and thinking, well, if I write a piece of music called Enlighten Up, if I write a piece of music that basically says, here is the essence of enlightenment, this is what you need to know, then you have to write some stuff down. You have to commit to some ideas. So it made me evaluate what I really felt was important, what I really wanted to say to people. And that again was a big transformation, because you can feel enlightened or for a bit or something, but when someone actually says, well, take me through this, how do you get there, what are the stages, then you have to really go into yourself, I think, and think, what do I feel I know, and what am I just repeating that sounds good? It's very easy to say things that sound good in the spiritual world. We can all sit around and say the world is unfolding perfectly. But do we mean it? Do we feel it? Is our life really unfolding perfectly, or are we stuck in some problems and we can't wait till they're over and then we can get back to being us again? So just spending almost 3 years trying to think about what it is that I wanted to say, was really a powerful experience for me.
This is the frequency.
Well, that's an excellent question, because we use, if you like, the dream world a lot in the frequency project, particularly in level 2. where you have what I would call a spiritual soap opera. You have a story like you might have on TV or the radio or something like that, but instead of all the external events, instead of what is happening outside to someone, we can go into their mind, into their thoughts, and that opens up this dream world, because once you go into someone's thoughts, then you think, well, what's the music they're hearing in their mind? You know, what is the effect that we want to create here? So you can deal, as all drama does, but particularly with this kind of subject, you can really get inside someone's head, and that again was a really important language for us. So at any point, you can see in the story something happening to someone, what they say to the outside world, but then you go into their head and you find out what they're really thinking. So our central character is someone who thinks that they're enlightened. They think they've done all the work, they meditate, and so they go around saying things like, it's a perfect day, everything is fine, you know, I have no worries, I'm present, I feel calm, whatever happens to me won't affect me, and all those things. And then you see the gradual conflict and breakdown of that to reveal a truth, which is, as I said earlier, that all of us are enlightened sometimes and not enlightened other times. It doesn't matter if you've done 20 years of meditation. All the people I've met who are honest about this will say the same thing, that some days they're not enlightened. And by creating something like the spiritual resort and the frequency project, then you are giving people a place where they can go to be able to understand, to be able to be helped, if you like, to get out of whatever their personal problems are at the moment, into this universal world. And this universal world of real reality is very dreamlike, because I think you have one foot in the outside world and one foot in this interior world. And this interior world seems very, very different to our perceptions of the outside world. Very different. Well, sometimes I wonder if it is a different place entirely. You know, and we may have got it all wrong. It may not be that enlightenment, you know, and meditation and peace like this is a calm version of our world. It may be access to something completely different.